Hello folks, how are you doing? This is Don Kelly here, physical therapist and acupuncturist. I hope you're all having a great Tuesday. Now, just a quick vlog here to give you a little bit of information basically about myself. So look, lots of people who visit my website, who check into my blogs and things like that, will see that I give out a lot of information and educational info and stuff like that. But what I haven't done previously is basically introduce myself and tell you about me and what I do and my story, as it were. So here, the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just going to give you a little insight into my story, into how I became a physiotherapist, how I started getting into acupuncture and looking at the root cause of disease and things like that. Okay, so if you bear with me for a few minutes, I will give you a little bit of my background and what I do. Okay, now basically I went back to college in 2002 as a mature student after spending nearly 20 years in the catering industry. I was a chef actually for 20 years and worked in some pretty reputable restaurants over the years and worked abroad. In the latter stages of that, it was something I stopped enjoying doing, and I needed to find an outlet, find something that I really wanted to do. And for some reason, I was always attracted, to healing and, and helping people, but it never really came across until I came across the physical therapy course and in 22, and I never looked back since. I went back to college as a mature student. I was 33 years of age and had some years of study, met some great friends up there, still in contact with a lot of them, and I haven't looked back since. So the last 17 years has been a journey for me in terms of where I was in 2002, starting in my first day in college. I remember it very well, to today, and it has evolved quite exponentially, to be honest. So the therapist I was in 2002, 2008, 2010 and so forth is a very different therapist than I am now. So my path to where I am now has changed and evolved over the last 17 years. So it has been a journey that, is pretty much guaranteed, okay? So what I have found in the last 17 years is you're on a path of constant learning. You're on a path of evolving as a therapist, as a practitioner, and there's no one way to treat patients, okay? Because what I have noticed and found out over the years is that we're all individuals and every single person is different, and no one illness or disease is manifested by the same reason another person has, if that makes sense, okay? So what I've noticed over the years is that constant learning and education and evolving is of utmost importance as a practitioner, be it a health practitioner or a doctor or whatever, whatever mode of employment you're in or your journey is. You should always be evolving and you should always be learning every day. And that is what I have found that I do myself. And every day I'm learning, and every day I learn something new. And I learn something from other practitioners, I learn something from patients, and I learn loads, especially when I travel abroad, especially India, which has been the most amazing experience of my life. And it's after meeting, I suppose, 5 years ago, meeting Dr. Richard Tan, and then from there on my journey progressed through faith, I met other great practitioners such as M.K. Sastry in India, who's a great teacher to me, and Dr. Shailandra Mane, who's another great teacher for me in India, amongst others, okay? Because when I travel to India, I meet the most amazing teachers, healers, practitioners of all different codes of medicine from that region. And I have now incorporated that into my clinic and into my treatments and into modalities. So basically my practice has kind of evolved from physical therapy to physiotherapy to acupuncture to a more holistic way of treating my patients and my clients who come in to see me. So I look at them now as a whole person, as opposed to when I might have looked at them maybe 10 years ago, even 5-6 years ago, just as a particular injury, when a person would have come in with a hamstring or chronic back pain, whatever it may be. But now when people come into me, I look at them in a holistic way, from the whole body, okay? And it's from learning and traveling, and especially my travels to India, which I hope to go back again, and that part of the world where there's, for me, untapped sources of amazing modalities, and we've so much to learn from that region and from those great, wonderful teachers who are over there, and I am blessed to have known them all and met lots of them. So what I'm trying to say is evolving, moving on, changing from physiotherapy to a whole more holistic way of treating patients has been my journey in the last 17 years, and I'm sure it will continue into the next 17 years. I will always be evolving. It's going to be it's in my opinion, it's very important that you constantly learn, that you learn, and you have to be very, very open-minded. We just can't just stick to the one form of treatment. I think if we do that as practitioners, we're on a path to ruin, really, you know. So I would suggest, you know, that as practitioners we have to be looking at the whole and not just the individual. So learning, constant learning, scientifically based evidence, absolutely, but we have to learn in the more holistic way as well, okay? There are other modalities, and we just can't be stuck in the Western way of thinking, okay? We have to look to the East, and we have to look to the Far East, to what they're doing over there as well, because let's be honest, they've been doing that over there a lot longer than we've been doing what we've been doing here, okay? We've been doing here maybe 130, 150 years, give or take. They're doing what they're doing for the last 5,000 years, if not more. So we have to look, in my opinion, into a more holistic way, be more open-minded, be more, eye-open, just be more concentrated on what other people are doing and take it in what they're doing, and don't push it away. We must embrace it. And me as a physiotherapist, as a physical therapist, this is what I'm doing now in my clinic, and it is very, very important for me. And I have found by bringing in those teachings, those modalities, basically nearly becoming not just a therapist, when you're a physio or physical therapist, you're a counselor as well, so you got to talk to your patients, and that has evolved with me over the years, getting more into the root cause of what's causing their disease. So the path I had 17 years ago has very much changed and evolved in that period of time. So I think it's very important that we evolve as practitioners, that I evolve as a practitioner, and I constantly move on and learn, and I learn every day. I research every day. I possibly spend an hour, 2 hours a day researching different modalities, researching different teachings, I'm in constant contact with my colleagues in India, as well as Ireland as well. And I think as practitioners, it's very important we do that. So my story has evolved over the last 17 years. It will continue to evolve over the next 17 years. And I think if we continue to evolve and be more open-minded, not just the practitioners, but when patients come in, you know, when people come into my rooms, I sit down, I chat to them, I talk to them, and we try to get to the root cause. So you, as a patient as well, you know, if you come open-minded into, be it my clinic or anyone else's clinic, I think that's very key, that you've got to be open-minded, that you're going to benefit from the treatment you're about to receive. In other words, you got to change the way you think. And if you can go into your practitioner or your doctor or your GP, whoever you go to see, seeking help, if you go in with an open mind, you will give yourself the best opportunity of healing and getting better. Okay? And remember, it is not, there's no quick fix in anything. You know, it's a process. It can go on for a number of weeks. In some cases, it can go on for a number of months. But it is a process. And if you have patience and are willing, with an open mind, and to listen to your practitioner, you will get better. If you go in there with a negative attitude, thinking, oh, I am not going to get better, you probably won't, okay? So a lot of our healing, a lot of us trying to get better and to heal ourselves and free ourselves of disease is within ourselves. You know, I would say 90% of it. Okay, so you bring the right attitude to your doctor, bring the right attitude to your physio, your acupuncturist, bring that right attitude in of wanting to get better, of wanting to heal, and you will heal. Okay, but remember, you know, I say it all the time, pain is the symptom. Okay, you know, when you have pain, discomfort, disease, whatever it is, these are the symptoms. And when you get to the root cause of it, you will heal. That is for sure. Okay, and so me as a therapist, I have evolved. You know, gone. You know, I still do all my, you know, my physiotherapy tests if needed or required. Okay, and all that will be done. But I've gone deeper now and evolved as a practitioner. So I go deeper into the psyche of the patient, of the client who comes into me to get to the root cause of what might be causing their disease. And with that, I've had lots and lots of success in treating chronically ill patients, you know, with fibromyalgia, arthritis and things like that, as well as digestive issues. But it is a process, and there's no quick fix and there's no magic pill. And if you stick with the process and if you help change your mindset yourself, you will go on a long, long way to healing yourself. Because remember, the body is designed to self-heal. This is the way we were created. All right. So if you can tap into those inner strengths that you have in your body, you can help yourself to heal. Okay, medicine is fantastic and modern medicine is amazing. I always say, you know, when you get a disease or you get sick, always get it checked out medically. That's a must, you know, but then you can, you know, go your own path as well. And you know, 90% of disease we create ourselves. Okay, be it through diet or lack of exercise or even how we think. Okay, so it's a process. Physiotherapy, you know, I'm a firm believer they all should be merged together. You should never knock one, not knock the other. It all works together. It's all a holistic, treating the body as a whole. And what we try to do here is use all the modalities that we have in our clinic, from physio to acupuncture to osteopathy, diathermy, whatever it may be, okay, even to counselling. So what I'm trying to say is my path, the therapist I was 17 years ago, is very much a different therapist than I am now. I treat the whole, and we try look at the root causes, and it's a case of, finding the right modality, finding the right treatment for an individual person, because we are all different. There's no one person the same. Okay, especially people with chronic disease. And if you look at yourself and see what has manifested this illness, this sickness that I have, even look within yourself, you can go a long way with helping yourself, okay? But the main thing I would say is, with all, you can go into mindset, you can go into yoga, you can exercise and all that, but you gotta have a balance in life. Everything has to be balanced, and I'm a firm believer everything should be simple. Don't complicate anything, okay? If you have a balanced diet, if you exercise fairly regularly, you don't have to be running mountains, you don't have to be, just movement, just going for walks, just walking, okay? Walking, a little bit of meditation, relaxation, stretching, some yoga, good diet. Do all these things. Keep a positive attitude. Don't leave the demons into the head. So if you start feeling down or not feeling well, don't leave them sit there. That's the easy part. Get rid of those thoughts straight away. Don't leave them sit there. And the way we think positive. All those, you combine all those, and you'll go a long way to helping yourself and to healing yourself. And talk, don't hold it in, especially the men out there. A lot of men don't talk, we just hold it in, and then we get, develop disease in many different forms, and especially mental illness with men. And we see in the city I come from, there is a lot of self-harm and suicide, and it's because we are not talking, and men need to talk. Okay, so don't hold it in. Go and talk to somebody, because basically we are lost in our own thoughts. We are lost in our own thinking, and a lot of that is negative thinking, and it just spirals. It becomes a burden, and it just goes layer upon layer, and before we know it, there's a drastic action taken, and not by any fault of their own. Okay, so that's just an example. Mind your mental health, mind the way you think, exercise, eat healthily, talk. Don't hold in. If you have a burden, share it with somebody, especially a friend. And you do all those things, and you will go a long, long way to healing yourself, without any medication, without any drugs, even without seeing a physio or a physical therapist or a counsellor or whatever. So, look, this is my path. This is the path I've chosen as a therapist. We still do the manipulations and all that, but there's deep-rooted problems to chronic illness. And if we can manifest, if we can combine all the different modalities into one, you get a pretty powerful technique in helping the body to heal. Okay, so this is where I'm at. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you've any queries, any concerns, anything, please feel free to give me a call. You'll check me out my website. Send me an email, leave a comment below. If there's anyone you feel might benefit from this information, please tag them or share this information as well. Okay, so look folks, thanks very much for tuning in. God bless, stay healthy, and I will talk to you all soon. Mind yourselves.